Kenny at a
Yeah.
loss for words.
Okay. Well, let me come.
Exactly.
Let,
Exactly. I am at a loss for fucking words.
I understand that, but let me come out of the gate.
Yeah,
Okay.
go for it when we're live.
Okay.
Hola, cabinet. This is our Game of Thrones finale discussion, final thoughts, final verdict. The episode was titled "The Iron Throne." How ironic. Um, what? How did
Yeah.
it even start? It was that bad. Like, how did it even start? Like, what happened?
Kenny, introduce your panel.
Oh,
You
Dr. Frost.
forget where you're at?
We have Magic
I'll say
Mike,
not everybody knows who
Hey,
we are.
Irish Melly, and ooh, are you rocking the Daenerys look again?
There she is.
I just kind of got it pulled back. Actually, I didn't even want to brush my hair, so I kind of.
And then we have the AHS 1984 Dawn.
Hey guys.
Hey,
right.
Dawn.
All right. Am I coming out of the gate on this one?
Yes,
Here
come
we
out,
go.
come out of the
Go
gate.
for
Just
it.
come out of the gate.
All right. I've been sitting on this since last night because I've watched 5 and 6 multiple times. And I didn't even think about this. But did anybody consider the fact that maybe Bran burned down King's Landing, and not Daenerys?
Meaning Bran warged into Drogon.
Yep.
I heard that today. Well, I didn't hear it in respect to burning down King's Landing, but I heard that in respect to what if it was Bran that warged into Drogon because of Drogon respecting and leaving Jon alone at the end.
That was part of it, but
Mm-hmm.
there's other parts of the episode that kind of make it go together a little bit, because when they asked him to, if we give you the position of the king, will you take it? And he basically said, that's what I came here for.
Yeah.
So I'm beginning to think that he
Yeah.
had a whole plan on he figured he did the whole thing himself and used Daenerys as the scapegoat so he could get everything done, and he would.
Oh.
So then we have another shitty fucking ruler. Like,
Yeah, but
That's what.
that one, he makes sense to be the ruler because he knows everything. He can see everything before it happens. So why is that a problem?
Yeah,
I don't.
I don't see Bran as a
I
problem at
don't
all.
see that as a problem.
The only problem that I see is with Bran, and I guess we're gonna have to wait for the books just to see this. Is
Yeah,
why is he the three-eyed raven? Why did he need to go through that journey? Why was he selected for that? For the final outcome, was he
there
selected?
was
See,
also one.
that's what I'm thinking. The
There's
whole
also
thing was for.
there was also one other thing that the three-eyed raven told him before he started his journey,
Mm-hmm.
was that he was never going to walk again, but he would learn how to fly. So he started
Yeah.
he started learning how to do that when he started warging into his direwolf, and then
Ravens.
he started warging
The Ravens.
into the ravens.
Mm-hmm.
Then he started to really show his power when he was able to warg into Hodor multiple
Mm-hmm.
times.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else had been able to do that except for him. So why couldn't he warg into Drogon? Because if you hadn't noticed, the only time we get a close up of Daenerys when she's on the dragon is right before, as she's looking at the Red Keep, and she's going to go towards Cersei, right?
Uh-huh.
Because the only thing she cares about right now is Cersei. She's
Uh-huh.
pissed and she wants to end Cersei. That's it. So basically, then you see the shadow of Drogon over, which was foreshadowed in one
Yeah,
of
Bran's visions. Yeah.
Bran's visions, exactly like that.
Yes. Just wait a minute. He
Okay,
saw that as if he was flying over King's
as if
Landing,
he was
and he saw his
flying.
own
Yeah.
shadow, and his shadow was Drogon. And then we just
Yep.
saw Drogon's shadow. Oh my God, you're on to something. This actually
Yep.
makes sense. So he set all of this up because he knew he needed to rule at the end.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, then how come they never explained that? Had they actually said something like that, maybe I wouldn't be so fucking pissed. But the fact that they gave their reason for all of that happening wasn't Bran. Their reason was because Daenerys went quote unquote crazy and mad and shit. You know what I mean?
But technically, she didn't, because she was only going after Cersei. She didn't have control of Drogon at that point.
Correct.
You didn't see her trying to control him. You only saw a close up of her when she was going toward the Red Keep. She was taking Drogon straight for the Red Keep, and then he went the other direction. So basically, my take is that Bran warged into Drogon, and he's the one who killed all the innocent civilians and burned down King's Landing.
Bran always has had a little creepy thing about him, you know.
So he's the villain, pretty much.
So he's the villain, and
I could see that, and I don't even really know the whole outcome, and I could see
But
that.
see, but would he see it as a villainous act?
No, he
would
wouldn't
see it as
see
a
it
means
that
to an
way.
end.
It would be a means to an end, and he was able to make.
Well, he would be psycho if he didn't. Like,
Yeah,
I don't.
He
Well,
was
remember
able
the Raven always
to
told him a
escape
bunch of
them.
crazy shit. Remember the Raven, the three-eyed Raven always told him a bunch of crazy shit about why they're doing the things that they're doing and blah blah blah. Because there's a deeper meaning, there's a bigger picture. You know, all that kind of crazy shit.
But it just makes sense that way, because
It does. It actually really does.
Why else would Bran go that far? If he already know that he was going to get the position, why else would he say what he did?
Exactly. And I guess that for him to get the position, I just want to know why he needed the position. Yeah, I understand. If he knew that he had to take the position, if he knew that he was going to be the means to the end, then I can understand why he would do what he did. He needed to set everything in motion, and he knew the result of everything. So I understand that. What I don't understand is why he needs the position.
He needs.
What we don't understand is why all that shit with Melisandre, why all the fucking shit with the White Walkers, why any of that shit was not explained. Like,
Melisandre
none
was
of it.
explained though. Melisandre was explained though, because Melisandre the whole thing about Azor Ahai was Jon killing Dany. That was Azor Ahai. That was the reason why all of this was set in place. Now, and the reason why Jon was brought back, and the reason that she followed the Lord of Light, and the reason why she was there at the end to bring him back. You know, all of that shit.
So he could just stab her and she died.
She falls asleep. Correct. Yes.
That is the most stupidest fucking
he can stop the
shit.
tyranny.
Why?
Why?
Jon fulfilled his prophecy. That's what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, he was Azor Ahai. He had to stop the tyranny, and it's not just stopping Daenerys of the tyranny. It's stopping tyranny from ever coming to King's Landing Westeros again. That was the thing. They're breaking, like Dany kept saying, breaking the will. They're putting a stop to this bullshit. And a Targaryen on the throne, especially another mad Targaryen on the throne, is not breaking the will. It's more of the same. So Jon, by Jon killing that and ending that, and then setting Bran into motion to be this new king, this new way of doing things by people electing who they're electing, blah blah blah. I see it all. Yeah, it makes sense. That is breaking the will. It all makes sense now. There's perfect sense.
Because you know how we were all in episode 5, we were completely just throwing shade how pissed we were at Daenerys. I don't think she had full control over that.
No,
Bran had full control over that.
Why didn't she say that? Like,
because she had no control over what was going on. She was up there just watching it all happen.
Yeah, and she would, and she.
So the bitch should have said something. It was the dragon. I didn't mean to. Or
but
anything.
But then that would have made her a false ruler. That would have made her look weak.
It would have made her look weak. It would have made her look weak.
Right.
Yeah. She's not going to admit a shortcoming.
Because even when she talked to Jon right before Jon killed her, she was saying, she was justifying why she had killed these children. You could see the tears she was holding back, but you could tell she was holding her shoulders straight, her hands at her side slightly behind her back, holding her posture. She knew she had to be strong. And if she showed weakness, which is basically what her monologue speech was about, then, she wouldn't have been taken seriously as the ruler. And like she said, to be the ruler, you have to do things.
Yep.
Yeah, my God.
So why wasn't this confirmed? Like, why wasn't this a part of the fucking ending instead of just like scenes of?
It's just like a lot of shows for a lot of reasons that they leave the
They
shows
stuff so that they
black
can
and
do
white.
more later.
Well, they can do more later, number one, and number two, George R. R. Martin has a whole series of books to finish writing.
Yeah, he's
That leaves it to him to explain. Number two is also, just like Lost and just like a lot of shows like that, they leave the real deep stuff for people to like we're figuring out now and interpret and go through it, and then they leave the TV show for what it is, black and white, for people to just to watch the action adventure club, dumb American TV,
right.
um, I God, I love this. I love this explanation. But if you're following the show and you really are into the lore, you can follow exactly what's going on, especially with Bran's visions and what the Three-Eyed Raven was saying and what we have seen before in Daenerys' visions in the House of the Undying and all that stuff. It's all there. It's all in the show. They
Well,
just don't have to spoon feed it to you.
I know, and we had all been wondering what the hell has Bran been doing all this time. He keeps,
And
he was
you gotta remember
talking to
that
Theon.
what
Yeah,
is it? It's HBO, not FX, not Fox, not CBS. This is HBO, so they're
Mhm.
gonna want to leave you more like with endings like that and more like
Well, and
controversial type of things.
exactly what it does, it prompts discussions.
And that's what we're doing
Exactly.
right now.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody dissects shows the way we do.
Well, and not everybody needs to. There's a lot of people out there that can take the show for face value for its black and white sense and enjoy it or hate it. Just the same and walk away from it.
I mean, it's been a long time since I've watched an entire show and then read the books.
Mm-hmm.
But
you're gonna really enjoy it.
But I'm totally looking forward to reading the books because I know they're going to be so much more in depth.
Hello to the guys. Marie Antoinette's cake. Same. Fucking same.
Huh? What'd you say, Kitty?
What about Sam?
Somebody said, hello, hi all, it's Marie Antoinette's cake.
Mm-hmm.
Yo.
What's up?
What's up?
Hello. Saying that name.
Hello. Give us your
Hello?
thoughts.
Me?
No, Marie Antoinette's cake.
I think she's in the comments. I'm not looking at the
Yeah, I can't pull up the comments. What'd she say, Kenny? Anything?
Nothing yet.
Yeah, well, hello.
What's
Is
his
that the only
name?
person we have watching?
Anything?
Very interesting. We don't have a lot of people watching.
We are chatting about Game of Thrones. Yep.
Mm-hmm. What's your thoughts? Share and share like.
There's nobody in the comments. I don't think. Hold on.
No.
Am I in the right spot?
Yes, we are.
It's not my day when it comes to technology.
I feel like if this was supposed to happen the way it is, like they should have had more episodes. It should have been more.
Well, that's going to be the complaint from here to eternity about what happened to the show. That was
I'm fine with them
feel,
doing what they did, especially to Daenerys' character, but I just wanted it to be done like a better way. Like it just wasn't good.
That will always be the
You can blame D&D for that. They didn't
exactly.
want to do any more than how many episodes did they originally
70.
have? 70?
They wanted 70 and no more.
Yeah.
They wanted to do 7 seasons with 10 episodes a season, a nice pretty package, and that was it. And HBO should have told them, no, we're high on our horse right now. We want more. You can either stay or you can go. We're going to continue. Mm-hmm. So it's partly HBO and partly Dan and Dave. They should have put a stop to that. They could have done 2 to 3 seasons per book and stretched this mess out for 14, 15 seasons.
Long time, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say though, I have to give Peter Dinklage some major props.
Oh God, wasn't he great last night? He was fantastic last night. Some of the best work he's ever done.
That was so fucking sad when he threw his little pendant thing off. Like,
it was beautiful.
I'm sorry, but fucking Tyrion and Daenerys' relationship, like, all of that shit just ruined. Like,
Tyrion, Peter Dinklage's best moment last night was
Yeah, he was good, but it's just
with Jamie and Cersei. That was
Yeah.
such a powerful freaking moment.
I actually cried. I'm like,
I
oh
did
my
too.
god, you made me cry.
I did too. It was amazing. Yes, that was some stellar acting last night by him.
Mhm.
See, and that's why I like the finale so much. Is it was moments like that. It was the finale really remembered what the show was about. Remembered what George R. R. Martin's work was about. Because the Song of Ice and Fire has never been about the White Walkers or dragons or anything like that. It's been about these family
Yeah.
dynasties, and how important family is, and how important a family, or how destructive a family can be to each other. Those are the two dynamics of the show. You have the Lannisters and you have the Starks, and he showed from the very, very beginning loyalty and family and trust and all that was going to rise above anything.
Yeah.
Whereas a family can have greed and all this crap and drive each other to pieces. And that's exactly what the show told us. That's exactly what the finale told us. It says, the people that stuck together, whoever was left, they were there. They were together. They were able to go on living. They were going, pursue their dreams, blah, 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 all that stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas the family that tore themselves apart, there was only one standing at the end. And he was, justifiably the one who was against the family, So it went back to his roots. It remembered what it was. And that's what I respected so much about the finale.
Well, the
It had those
finale
beautiful
made me
cry
feel
moments.
better after it. The
Marie
finale made me
Antoinette's
feel
take
better.
says, I enjoyed the finale for the most part, except I think Jon Snow should have had a choice, exactly, and they should have had 10 episodes for 7 and 8, so it wasn't so rushed.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking exactly. Like,
Yeah,
just shit. It was just shit.
That will always be
Like,
that will always be the complaint.
yeah.
Game of Thrones will go down in history with the complaint of 7 and 8 were rushed.
7 and 8, yeah.
And hopefully George R. R. Martin will come out with Winds of Winter and Dream of Spring, and we can all figure out how the journey was supposed to end. Not end, but how the journey was supposed to get to the end.
I fucking think
place.
Daenerys should have deserved a damn happy ending. I don't care what anybody says. Like,
Why?
The whole part of her dynasty.
All I hear is, oh, well, I mean, it's Game of Thrones. There's no happy endings. All I saw last night was happy endings for everybody except Daenerys.
She was
it's Game of Thrones and there's no happy ending. Everybody on the show got their happy ending besides, like, what? Cersei, and even they died together. So, I mean, technically, like, you know what I mean? Like,
but why would Daenerys deserve a happy ending? Why would she? Why would she think that she's?
Well, up until episode fucking 4, she was like, okay, like she was like the queen everybody needed. Like,
she was the queen everybody wanted.
Like,
if you look, the one thing I do like about what Dan and Dave did with or what George R. R. Martin, whoever decided this ending for Daenerys, obviously Martin, but what it made us do is look back on Daenerys' journey and on who she was as a character. And if you really go back to all of her big key moments and all of her moments that we cheered for her as a character, they're pretty fucking ruthless.
Yep,
and we only cheered for them because of circumstances that she got them. We didn't like the Masters, or we didn't like this or that. We didn't like what was going on.
Had to do with Dragonfire.
Correct. So she was always pretty fucking ruthless and pretty, but we wanted to believe in her, just like Westeros wanted to believe in Daenerys. That's how well written of a character she was. Is that everybody thought she was the savior, she was the next big thing, and in reality, she really kind of wasn't. Somebody like Jon really had the heart and the soul and what the country really was looking for. Daenerys is true Targaryen, true ruthless, through and through. She was just in circumstances that made her look like a savior. That will be an interesting rewatch through Game of Thrones. You go back and rewatch it. It's to rewatch Daenerys' character development.
Yeah.
And see her as you watch it as a mad queen, and see where that really lies with her. That would be the most interesting.
Go back and watch the first one and then the last one again.
Yeah,
to do that.
Well, it's brilliant. If you watch the first one, you watch the last one again. It's about family. It's about those two families.
Yeah.
That's what it brings it right down to. And it's very interesting that the very, very first episode ends with Bran being pushed out the window, and and then the finale with him sitting on the Iron Throne.
Hmm.
It all came full circle.
So what was the point of Daenerys being like flammable or unflammable? Like couldn't burn? Like
Well, because she's Targaryen. There's a lot of Targaryens like that. It's not Daenerys.
Yeah.
It's not Daenerys as a savior.
so if
It's
Jon
Targaryen.
was,
It's Targaryen as a race.
it's so stupid. Like I can't. Like I don't even have
See,
any words.
You
Still,
really
like
need to see. I think you really need to read the books or
You
to
need
really
to.
understand.
I'm gonna start reading it tonight more
Yeah,
than like.
because
I tried to rewatch
there's-
the episode. Like I wanted to like see it like a good episode. I just can't. Like it's not good. I mean, it had great cinematography, like, and the acting was phenomenon. But like, other than that, it just wasn't good. Like, I don't want to watch it again. Like, it sucks because I really love this show, and it's like.
Maybe you need to read the books, Kenny.
yeah, read the books.
Yeah.
Read what he tells us. What the author, the real author, says
Like I
about
just
the
wanted
show.
at least an explanation. If it had to end like it did, I just wanted more of a like.
And that's where the book's at.
The only way you're gonna get an explanation is from the books. That's
exactly. Because sometimes these shows like Lost, like major shows that are big, epic, drawn out shows like this, they want you to think on your own. They don't want to spoon feed you this stuff. And Martin,
Me and Diana were talking last night, like the whole Daenerys thing. Like I'm still just pissed. Like, okay, last week I was pissed, but like,
But
it just sucks now because like, okay, she's a Targaryen and Fire and Blood and all that shit, but like her whole fucking storyline and all that shit was she's not her fucking father, and then this shit happens. It's just.
But
Like
she
I
was,
said, it's just
but
not
she was
good.
her,
Like
but she was her father. That's the
it's
thing. That's
typical.
the thing. She was her
the
father.
whole story because we got gypped out of an entire season where they
Correct.
could have
That's-
built up to it, but they didn't.
See,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
the-
saying though. Like I don't see her as a villain still. Like
and that's the fault of the creators.
it only
for
happened
rushing
in
the
a matter
show.
of 3 episodes, all the way from episode. When did all that shit happen? After the White Walker War. All of a sudden, we're just supposed to hate
Starting
her
in
like an episode later. I
Starting in
can't.
episode 4, yeah. But mainly in episode 5.
kitties in the comments, everybody.
Yeah.
that's up, Kitty. What the hell?
And Marie Antoinette Cake said, I enjoyed the finale for the most part, except I think Jon Snow should have had a choice, and they should have had 10 episodes for 7 and 8, so it wasn't so rushed.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what
Well,
everybody's going to continue
for
to.
that
Yeah,
one.
nobody disagrees with that at all.
No.
And that's how it's always going to be with these seasons, and that's just unfortunately you can take it or leave it. I mean, some people will
And
not
maybe
get over the
if
fact.
there was like 10 episodes, maybe if it was done correctly, I could see what you guys are seeing, but I just still, it's not, I don't see it. Like, it's just, I watched it again. Like, I even watched like little clips. It just, I can't.
Well, you might
sucks.
change your mind. You might change your mind later. You never know.
I don't know.
And you don't have to like it. That's the thing. You
No.
don't have to. Nobody's saying you have to like it or see what we see or even be compelled to read the books or to watch the prequel series or whatever. And that's the fault of the showrunners for losing you like that. And that's what entertainment is subjective. Literature is subjective. Stories are subjective. And people need different things from their storytelling. And Kenny, maybe you needed something more literal, straightforward, to go forward. Or like me, for me, if there's a novel that exists, I need to read the novel, and I will read the novel before it, so that I have all that information in my head as I'm watching it. The reason I was pissed throughout the season wasn't the fact of what the season was or what we were doing or even the fact that it was rushed. What I was pissed about early on in the season is they were having characters do things that were completely outside their character arc. that made no freaking sense, and because of them rushing it, because of them trying to tie up things. Really,
That's what I'm saying with
that's what lost
Daenerys.
me.
Like,
Really.
That
But see,
she
I
was
don't. But see,
fucking
I didn't see
rushed.
that with Daenerys.
Turn
It was just
anything really
rushed.
trivial
Like,
into a show or a
she
movie.
snapped overnight. Like, I just can't. Like,
It's okay.
Yeah, but know that is her ending, and that will be the same ending she's going to get in the books. It's just if you want to find out the journey, you're going to have to read the books.
You'd
You
have to
won't
read
get
the
it from the
books,
show. The show's not going to give it to you
Nope.
because the show is said and done.
And
And
you know
the
what?
prequel show is not going to give you anything about Daenerys either. But the prequel show is going to get into Targaryens, and it will get into more of the mythos of Targaryens and their special little powers and
Yeah, because
and all that crap.
the first prequel that's been greenlit that they're already filming on, isn't
Correct.
that based like 1,000 years in the past before the Game of Thrones?
About the first long night. Yes.
Yeah.
so when they said, like, oh, don't expect to have happy endings, was that only referring to Daenerys? Because I can't think of anybody else in the show who did not get a happy ending last night.
Well, I don't think John got a happy ending necessary.
Well,
No.
probably though for the most part, because you notice how like a lot of people, and even Kenny has said it, how from the beginning like they focused on like Daenerys, and it was like not Game of Thrones, but the Daenerys.
That's what
show.
I'm saying. She was
So-
like a main focus. Like,
She wasn't though.
Maybe that's why she had
it's
her
always been the
focus on
Stark.
Daenerys,
Which
Not
since
everybody
when?
got a happy ending there. I mean, Bran, he
right?
didn't want to rule, but he's doing it. But
It's about the show is about John.
Well,
Shows about
Tyrion didn't
Starks.
want to
And then,
be the hand of the king,
John got banished to the wall for life.
where he can't take a wife, he cannot have children.
Nope. But then again, he did get taken to. They took him to the wall, but didn't he decide to go with
I
the
think he's
wild?
the new man's Raider. I think he's the new man's
Yeah.
Raider. And I think that's why we saw the Mance Raider and King of the Free Folk and all that. I think that's why that character was introduced, and
Right.
we had all that mess went on
Mhm.
because of John's journey. And at the end, John's journey, we showed that he could be still king, still ruler, still have a community of people, but on his own terms.
Yeah. The only problem I had with the show is the fact that I had a hard time with the whole Dorne storyline because it came out of nowhere.
The Dorne storyline just I cannot wait to discuss the Dorne storyline with you when you read the books. The Dorne storyline is so brilliant.
One
It's
thing
so
at a
involved.
time, because that was the one thing that turned me off. It's like, this is coming out of nowhere and I don't understand it. It's just because I haven't read the books yet. But
Yep, and they didn't know what the hell to do with it either. See the new Princess Dorne sitting there last night, though?
yes, I did. I saw that.
I don't know who he was or what he was doing, but there he was.
Everyone sees Robin Aaron looking like Prince Charming.
I think my
Mhm.
main fucking issue is like they tried to like paint to us like Daenerys is a bad character.
Yes.
And like it's hard when it's only in a matter of like 3 episodes.
But I don't
You
think
know
it
what I
wasn't
mean?
a matter of
Like
3 episodes.
it's
That's
not.
But that's the thinking. I don't think it was a matter of 3 episodes. Her turn was a matter of 3 episodes. But I think if you went back and watched it, knowing that she really is insane, watch her intentions and her the decisions she makes all the way through the show, and just like they're telling us on these behind the scene things and afterwards, I think it's all there. I think it's there for her.
I know.
her
That's why I'm
ruthlessness.
looking forward to going back and doing it again and watching it from the beginning. Because now you can go back and go, oh.
Mhm.
Fucking
didn't-
agreed, Mary
No.
Antoinette's cake. I agree. Yes.
What did it say?
What'd she say?
Okay, well, first she said, I always saw Dany as a character who could turn at any moment. Me too. I've always watched the series a whole 4 times through. I noticed in Cars season 2, Dany warned the Guide of 13 she would take the city with fire and blood. Robin Aaron is the hottie now.
Robin Aaron's a hottie now. Mhm.
I know he was.
Yeah, I didn't even recognize him at first. I was like, and my husband was like, "Is that Robin Aaron?" I was like,
See, I
"Holy
thought
shit,
he
that is."
fucking died. I was like,
I
oh,
had
he's
to do
still
a double
alive.
take on that one. I'm like, wait a minute. Ooh.
Yeah, I was like, "That's Robin Aaron."
I'm like, I thought he died. I was like, okay. Well, at least we got to see fucking Yara for a second.
Yep.
And she had one
For a hot
fucking
second.
line.
I know. It's like
That was
there
so
she was.
stupid. Like,
It's like,
oh, it just wasn't good.
Did you,
It just
did you
wasn't
catch
good.
the water bottles?
Killed him. Ugh.
Oh, was there any more
It
water
just
bottles with me?
fucking wasn't
Yeah.
good.
By their legs when they were meeting, when they chose Bran, there's a water
Yeah.
bottle right by the leg.
Is there?
That shit's just
Yeah.
so fucking stupid
Oh,
too. Like that just is.
Look, I'm gonna have to go back and look.
Is it, or did somebody, or did somebody Photoshop that in there today?
Like it's not funny. Like
Because
I
the-
don't
because
get
the
that.
Jamie
Like
Hand-
I saw this on the news. They were talking
Oh.
about it.
Because the Jamie's hand thing that followed the week after the whole coffee.
so
cup
the
thing,
writers kind of
that was
forgot how to be
Photoshopped.
clever, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, but the
Product
actually
placement.
the
I
Jamie.
take that shit as like a big slap in the face. It's like, okay, this
No,
water
that's not the
bottle,
writers.
all
That's not
the
the writers'
Starbucks
fault.
cup of coffee. It's like they're like blatantly sloppy.
Yeah, but see, I think it may be on that only one instance. Because I think there's other stuff like they proved with the Jamie's hand thing that happened the next week. That was
Yeah.
Photoshop. That was fake.
Right.
So this water bottle
What if
may
it's
be
an
fake.
inside joke between like the cast or the crew because it's
It
the
could be.
final season and
It could
No,
be.
they just wanted another trending moment on Twitter.
right.
It's just
Product
disgusting.
placement. They got their ads in.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it's
I
disgusting.
don't know. I think it's just an error. I mean, it happens. When
Errors.
you're doing that kind of. I blame the editors for that and nobody else. I mean, because when you're going through and you're editing that kind of stuff, you literally. I mean, something
Yeah,
literally
but
could
after
sneak
the
in there.
first one blew up the way it did, you think they'd be like, "Hey, everybody,
Well, see,
lockdown,
that's the
be
thing.
extra careful,
That's
double
the
They
thing.
check."
wanted it to blow up
That's
though.
the thing.
It's
I
about
bet
Yeah.
you. I bet you the water bottle's fake.
More than likely.
See, that's the thing. These people do this crap on the internet all the time because of the one incident.
Yeah, I think that the coffee cup was a mistake, and they just.
Yes, and then everybody else is going to run with it.
pretty sloppy mistake.
I mean, but one time out of 70 some odd episodes, and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of hours put into the show, I could see one mistake going through. I mean, these people are tired. These people, that was half the reason why Dan and Dave only wanted to do these 7 seasons, because they were tired, they're exhausted, they wanted to move on. So
I know that's why they fucking slopped it all together in
it is
6 episodes.
It is. I mean, that is
Shit.
that is the problem. That will always be the resolve of the show, and everybody will always feel that. But are we going to sit there and dwell on something we never going to change? And you could either walk away from the show.
Yeah, but those
Or-
motherfuckers tried with that petition, didn't they?
The position ain't going to do anything.
No,
Because who's going to pay for it? Who are you going to hire? Those actors have moved on with their life. The production team has moved on to other projects. That petition would never have worked. That petition just showed the creators that they were not happy. That's
Right.
all. That's all the position was just knowledge.
Right.
So I guess Bran all of a sudden decided he was a Stark again last night.
No, did
No.
he say that?
no, he never said it. Tyrion did.
Yeah.
I mean, if he was the
labeled him as
three-eyed
Stark.
Raven and he's not a Stark, he has no claim to anything.
He's a Stark.
Well,
But
he
that was the
does
thing.
because they
Well,
That was
chose
the
him.
no, he said he wasn't a
There's no,
Stark.
but there's no claim to anything. That's the point.
That's the whole
You
point.
So
could
it's
be a
just
bastard.
Bran, three-eyed
You could be,
Raven.
no. You could be a bastard. You could be a raven. You could be a worker. You could be whatever you want. The whole point of the whole thing was they were not going to let people enabled by birth or by
Yeah,
by
notice-
law or by
notice-
duty to be
Notice they
crowned
called
and be
him.
worthy.
They called him Bran the Broken.
Bring
Yeah.
in the broken. Yeah.
It would be by a person. By the person for their own merits and by the people choosing that person on their own.
So it's just King
versus
Bran.
birth.
It's just Bran,
Correct. Yeah. He
Yeah.
doesn't have to be a Stark.
And it
three-eyed
act-
Raven.
And it actually makes sense that he would be the king because he can
It
see
does.
everything happening as
See everything.
it's going.
Yeah, when I first heard the rumor, I was like, "Oh my god, are you fucking kidding?" But now I saw it play out, and
Yeah.
I saw how Bran actually played out with the whole thing. I thought it was brilliant.
I did like the whole.
I
So
like
has anybody heard about Drogon? Well, maybe I can find him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me go find him.
You
Find
guys
him
go
for
on.
what?
And Bran let the people.
What does he need with Drogon? Like,
Because you got a dragon on the loose, running around.
Yeah,
freaking
you
who
need-
knows-
You need to get rid of the dragon. You can't have the dragon on the loose.
Yeah, you don't know what that dragon's doing on its own out there terrorizing freaking people. You know, and also maybe they want to keep tabs on it to know that it's not out there terrorizing people. That it's not, you know, they're not necessarily going to kill it. They just keep tabs on it. See what the
Yeah.
hell it's doing.
Make
You know,
sure
and
he's
then
not
and
causing.
also with Bran, you notice that where Bran walked away from the council meeting, he was not going to sit there and he's not ruling. He's not dictating what's going on. He's just okay. Here's the daily thing. All right, I'm good. You guys do what you
Guys,
do.
go do your thing.
You do you. And he let the people rule. The people decided for him to sit in the chair and be the figurehead, but the people are ruling themselves. It's very much like they have created their own democracy.
Yeah.
I
That's basically
love
what they
by
I
the
created.
did
time
like
I got
Arya's
to the
ending though.
end. By
That
the
was
time
the
I
best
got to
ending
the
for
end, what's
Arya.
his name? Sam. I love that Sam was still there because I thought Sam was going to die along the way.
Oh no, because I always knew that
And then
Sam was
I
going to be
love
telling the story of Song of Ice and Fire, because that's what
well,
people have
and
been
I love the
speculating from the
fact that
beginning.
he stood up and he suggested democracy, and everybody just laughed at him.
Hmm
And it's like, just the irony of that with the world today. I just thought that was brilliant.
It was neat. It was neat to see him do what everybody speculated from the very beginning.
Yep.
Everybody thought the opening credits were the Citadel, and that was Sam was going to be telling the Song of Ice and Fire. And sure enough, it's exactly what happened.
There it was.
Yep.
And the fact that Tyrion was never mentioned.
Nope.
It's fire. I thought that was funny
Yeah, that was funny. That was just
because we got the comedic Tyrion back.
exactly.
That made my
Yeah, we got the creative,
day.
the funny Tyrion, the quippy Tyrion. You know, life goes on, and people find a way to survive, and that's basically what the finale was telling us. They went through all of this hell, but they found a way to survive. They found a way to move on.
Yep.
And found a way to better themselves. That's what they did. They bettered themselves as people. They they found a way to govern themselves. Yeah, I thought it
I
was fun.
love I loved at the end how I forget his name. I don't think it matters. But he was very insistent. The master of coin was very insistent on rebuilding the
Braun.
brothels before the
Oh,
ship.
Braun,
God,
yes. That was
Braun,
great.
go Braun. God.
I thought that was hilarious.
Well, you know why
It
Braun's
took,
around?
it took the
Because
woman to say something and be like, "No, listen here."
Braun's around though because the creators just love his character. I mean, there's really no point for him to be there.
I hated his character.
I know.
I hate his character whenever Jamie or not Jamie, Tyrion was on trial, and
Mm-hmm.
like he pretty much shit on Tyrion. I was like, "Fuck you,
Mm-hmm.
then."
Well, in the
Well,
beginning,
Braun.
they were walking
Oh,
up.
that's a good moment for the whole show is when Shay got up on the stand. I did not expect when I saw that. That made me blast off my fucking couch. I was like, "What?"
I
Yeah,
did
I
into the
read
tent.
that first.
When they're walking him to the tent, I'm thinking, how many times does this man have to go on trial?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes, book 3. When that shit goes down in book 3, it's so fucking amazing. Oh man, I remember reading the Red Wedding for the first time. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
The Red Wedding that was an exceptional episode, I have to admit.
Podcast for life. Uh huh. Yeah.
So I guess we know Kenny's overall, but I guess for the end. But like, if you had to judge as a fan from the beginning to the very end, Kenny, like overall, even with the disappointments, average, what would you say you were with the show?
I mean, like the show was really good. Like, besides obviously season 8, and season 8 episode 3 was good. Like, I mean, it was good, like to watch, but like we didn't get any explanations, and I kind of figured we weren't at that point. So I mean, it is what it is with episode 3, but I just wish that like they made it more obvious that Daenerys was gonna go crazy and all that shit. Like I remember at a point she was like the main fucking like, oh, Daenerys this and that. Like they should have at least like made her not so lovable. You know what I mean? Or like a good and merciful fucking person.
But did they, or was that our interpretation? Did we
That
want
was
to believe that in her?
See,
Just like the people following her.
really liked Daenerys even from the
I
beginning.
didn't. I was up and down with her. Very
Yeah,
up and down with her.
kind of how I went about it. There were times when I liked her, and other times I just I wanted to strangle her.
Yep.
So I mean, because I basically seasons 1 through 4 had me hooked, hook, line, and sinker. I could do without season 5.
Correct.
Was not pleased with season 5 at
Yeah,
all.
Yep.
And season 6 was okay. I mean, that's when they started going downhill. And then 7 and 8, you guys know how I feel about 7 and 8. So
Well, see, and what's interesting is the seasons that you named versus the seasons that you didn't like are the ones without George R. R. Martin's backup.
Yep.
Without the
That's
books.
because 1 through 4 were based on the books, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's very interesting when you don't have that knowledge in it, when you don't have that source material anymore, how quickly they can throw something away. I'm pretty much on board with you. I loved seasons 1 through 4. I absolutely, just beyond what they could do with the knowledge that was in the book, they absolutely just nailed it. And that's why it just got me hooked on the show. And I've got everybody I knew involved in the show.
Yeah.
Once the show was no longer following Martin's work, it had me and then it didn't. There were certain plot lines where they took really good care of. There was other plot lines that they really destroyed, namely Dorne. The Dorne characters and plot line that they did in the show, at that point almost had me leaving the show because it was done so horribly. And the Dorne storyline is so important in the books. But then they kind of came back around, towards the middle of season 6 and stuff. So then I was kind of back on board. This season, you guys know how I felt. I freaking hated this season for the most part. Yeah. And then I was brought back around for the finale. So it's been a roller coaster ride for me. Yeah. It's been up and down and hit and miss. And above all, I would have to say I'm glad that I'm back on board there towards the end. I'm glad that I had that resolve with the show because it's something I really loved a lot. It would actually. I'm going to be watching the prequel show. I'm going to be continuing to follow the lore, and I will also read Martin's books when they come out. I'll probably reread all of the books before Winds of Winter comes out if we ever get it, and then really looking forward to how it's going to end with his books.
I was looking forward to 8. I liked episode 1 and 2. I liked them. Episode 3, that's when it started going downhill. And then they were able to redeem themselves with the finale in my book.
Yes, I agree. I agree, Silver. I was off of it. Episode 1. I was like, what is happening in this show?
Well,
anybody else?
Like we discussed before, that was mainly fan service for the people who haven't read the books.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, that's exactly what it was. Oh my God, what is this? What else, guys? Anybody else saying anything in the comments? Because I can't read them.
No, I was just checking in. There's something else right now.
Okay. Well, anybody have anything else to add? Talk about?
Well, what would we give it
out
of a scale of 10 stars or something?
Well, okay. So on a scale of 1 to
10,
maybe 1 to 10. Okay, 1 to 10. Are we talking this season or the series as a whole, or we do both?
This season.
Do both.
Okay. So this season, well, let's do this season first. We'll do round robin this season first. Hold on, ambience too loud. This season, I would give it a 5 to be generous because I like the finale so much. If it was without the finale, I would give it something really low, like a 2 or 3. But with the finale, it gets more points because I think the finale really resolved itself. So I'll give it a strong 5.
I'd give it a 4. And that's with the finale. As far as a whole, I would probably go.
We'll do the whole afterwards. Save that. Yeah. Save the whole series after. So after.
Okay, so I would probably give season 8 maybe a 4.
Okay.
With the finale.
Okay.
Now,
Mr.
based off
Kenny?
my
Oh,
my
no.
my opinion, where I don't really have much knowledge throughout the whole series,
Not yet.
right? But based off what I know and what I've picked up from when other people have told me things and everything, um, I can base it off what I would score the finale, and that's from seeing like the first 5 episodes of the series to watching the finale. I honestly really, really liked the finale from everything I'd heard because, like I said, I liked how it wrapped everything up. So honestly, I would probably rate it higher. There are things I personally, even just from what I know, would have liked to see different, just little things, but I'd probably rated it a 7 and 8 just for the finale, in my opinion.
Good.
Okay. What about
Okay.
you?
I have to agree with Dawn. I think a 4. 4.
Okay.
Because I am happy that, Sansa is north and
Mhm. Oh my God,
Arya
her
and all that
crowning.
shit.
I
Like,
love how they did that. That's what turned the whole
God.
finale for
Yeah.
me, was like the last 10, 15 minutes of the
Mhm.
show. It was really slow throughout like the first 30, 40 minutes.
they did a real good job with making me like Sansa because she used to be
No,
so
yeah, they
annoying.
did.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm the same way. She used to be my absolute least favorite character, and let me tell you, they got me on board with her this
She
season.
was so whiny in the beginning. It was just like,
Mhm.
nauseating.
Well, it's like I blame her for the whole thing. It's like you set all this in motion. You're the one that wanted to go down there and marry Joffrey and whine and cry, and you were the one that got Ned all wrapped up because of he was worried about his kids, and it's just like, ugh, God, I hate Sansa. Ugh. But yeah, and she really came around. Oh my God, how regal she looked last night, and walking into
Yeah,
that
yeah.
room. Oh God, it was just beautiful.
Yeah,
Stunning.
the dress they had her in. Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing. It's like, where was this Sansa?
Yeah,
I
really.
love how it's like just the family itself, everyone broke off and went their own way, but they all kind of got what they wanted in the end, in a way. I mean, I know John's wasn't quite what he would have wanted, but he still ended up, like you guys said, becoming somewhat of a leader for even the other people.
I did not
So,
expect this show to end like a fairy tale with everybody getting a happy fucking ending. Except
well,
for
not
Daenerys.
everybody, just like the family.
Well, and it's just, and remember, it's just kind of the three of them. They had a whole huge big family. They're all dead. They're all
There
gone,
was only 4
scattered.
of them left. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, that family has been through hell. So to
Right.
show what resolve the 3 of the 4 that were left got, I thought was very, very fair. And I would argue endlessly that I don't think John has a happy ending. I think
No.
Sansa got what she wants. I think she's in for a challenge for herself. I think Arya is probably the one that got the happiest ending as far as her character goes. She wanted to be free. She wanted to explore. But I think how they described
That Arya is now the queen of the seas.
There we go.
yeah. It's just it's bittersweet. She
I
had
don't
to leave her family behind for that. She had to leave.
I don't think John got a happy ending at all.
Oh, I don't think John got a happy ending at all either. And the look on his face was just
No,
so telling.
but the poetic justice of it is that John knew he was the one who had to do that, and he knew he was the
Yes.
one who could get close enough to do it. He knew, like you said, part of the prophecy. Like he knew he had to be the one, and he knew that meant he was going to become a martyr.
Well,
That
that's why
meant
John
he
was.
would lose it
Yes,
all.
that's why John was always the one. Was always the noble one. John was always the one that was meant to,
Right.
to do all
He's
things because
always
John was the
belonged
only
in the
one.
North, though. That's where his heart freaking lies. Like,
Well, he is in the North.
he belongs there. Like, what would have been a bad ending for him is him going fucking across the fucking seas to wherever the hell. Like, that would have been a fucking bad ending for him. But going past the wall, no, he's used to that shit. That's not a.
But John lost everything, and he's
Yeah.
you see the look on his face. You see the torment on his face.
I know.
It's just
He lost
John
everything, and like Melisandre said, it'll be worth it because he's gonna be the king. Beyond the Wall and all that shit.
Yeah.
So I mean, technically, he didn't really.
But I think John needs other things in life. I don't think John needs to be king. I think
No.
John needed family. John needed
Yeah,
to
John
know that
needed
he
love.
was.
That's what John wanted,
Yeah,
was love.
and
I mean,
Life.
even in like the 3rd episode, you figure that out when he's at the wall talking with Sam, and he's talking about, oh, I bet you've been with lots of women. And he said, well, no, I actually was going to once. And basically I chickened out because what if I got her pregnant and then a bastard son created another bastard child in the world? And that's why he was still a virgin and wouldn't even sleep with anyone because he wanted to be in love so bad. But he felt like his heritage, his title was destroying love for him.
Yep.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't really like about the finale was the whole thing with Grey Worm. I wanted to just lit.
God.
Oh, I don't like that
Talk
guy.
about
And this is the
ruining a
first
character.
episode I've ever seen him.
Talk about ruining a character. Oh God, it's so gut wrenching.
And that guy in real life is like, he has the prettiest smile in the world.
His character all the way up till like episode 3 was one of the best characters on the show.
Yep.
That's a character they threw away.
Oh,
Yeah.
you forgot about Jamie.
Jamie. Oh God. So,
yes.
that was another. That's another journey. That's another. Journey
Nobody
that we
can tell
didn't
me
get.
that Jamie that shit was good. Like nobody can tell me.
Yeah, because we didn't get to see the journey. It's like
Mhm.
obviously Martin's end for Jamie was exactly what happened. Jamie was going to be the one he was going to be the Valonqar. He was going to be the one that choked Cersei. He was going to be the one that died with her. But if in the books he dies with her in love, what I have a feeling in the books are going to be different than the show is I don't think Jamie's going to sleep with Brienne in the books. I don't think Jamie's going to give himself any. I think they did that on the show for the little shippers in the world that everybody wanted to see Brienne and Jamie together. Everyone wanted their little Brienne and Jamie moment, and all that did was fuck up Jamie's character. Because before Jamie gave himself to remember at the start of this season, Jamie had just left Cersei.
Yep.
Because she was saying that she wasn't going to come help Daenerys. Up to that moment, he was still by her side. So it wasn't this recent.
I'm
all
so
of a sudden
goddamn tired of people doing fan service and then taking it all away. Like, okay, Tate and Violet. Everybody shipped them, all the teens, and Tate and Violet. Exactly. Well, and Moira too. Like, and then they just take it all away. Like, and then okay, Brienne and fucking Jamie. Like, why do they do that shit and then just take it away? Like, if you're gonna do it, do it. But if you're gonna take it away, just don't do it. Period.
Yeah, that's where I think the problem was with Brienne, not with Cersei. I think Jamie was always going to die with Cersei.
I was happy with Theon's ending though, because he got an ending.
Me too.
Yes, he did. Jamie Theon got a full arc.
Yeah.
That was his whole storyline. He didn't want to die a coward.
Yep. He got a full arc. He was the only one on the show. Well, I think Jon got a full arc too, and Arya and Sansa.
Daenerys just plain deserved fucking better than to get stabbed and then just 2 seconds later just dead.
Well, she needed a better death, but I understood why that was happening.
So did Cersei. Like, at least give her something grand.
I knew he was gonna stab her. I knew it.
Everybody fucking, yeah. I mean,
Well,
what would have shocked the shit out of me if that bitch would have stabbed him first? Been like, aha, gotcha, bitch.
Right.
That would have threw me off the fucking couch.
Didn't Jon stab her with the dagger that was it Littlefinger's dagger?
Arya. Yeah, Arya, the Valyrian steel dagger.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think so. I'd have to look at it again, but I think so. But the fact that was Azor Ahai.
Yeah.
See, if she would have stabbed him, that would have been like a, oh fuck, like.
Yeah, but that's not part of the prophecy.
That's not the prophecy. The prophecy was.
I mean, what about the prophecy with Jamie and Cersei? Like, none of that means shit.
But it does, though. See, that's the thing that people got screwed up about prophecies, and that's where they went wrong with the show. Is that George R. Martin has always said prophecies are law in Game of Thrones world. In Song of Ice and Fire, if you hear a prophecy, you better start studying that prophecy because that means everything. That is what it is. And then by them not following through on prophecies, just kind of screwed everything up for the show because they showed you the prophecies don't matter. But I can't say that they didn't follow through with prophecies because remember in the show they didn't put anything about the Valonqar in Cersei's prophecy that was absent. So prophecy still meant something. I don't know, confusing.
Yeah, because they left the part out about her being killed by her brother.
Correct. That's not in the show. We just know that because of
the book.
Because of the books.
I still think Marjorie was the one who was the young, beautiful queen who took, because 2 of her kids died with Marjorie. Like, she was threatening her, like the whole Tyrell, Cersei had to marry her brother. Like, I feel like she was the one.
Oh,
She
it was absolutely.
All
Yeah.
Daenerys really did was just burn the city down. Like, but her kids, all Cersei cared about was already pretty much gone.
Yeah, that was definitely referred to Marjorie.
I still don't think Daenerys burned it out. I think Bran did it.
Yeah, I do too.
They should
I
have
do too
told
now.
us then. They should have told us.
You know, that leaves it open.
they
They
did,
want
though.
to do these other spin-offs and stuff. Who knows? Maybe they'll
Yeah.
have a story
They
that just
might.
tells the story of Bran leading the Six Kingdoms, you know?
But in a way, they did tell us because of that shadow, because
Yep.
of Bran watching himself fly over King's Landing,
That's
and
why
and it's all there. It's right there.
Yeah. That's why I had to make sure that was brought out into the open, because I'm like, oh my god, now I'm putting the pieces together.
So Bran's an asshole of a king. Like, yay.
I don't
You
think Bran's
know
an
what? Most
asshole
kings
of a
and
king.
queens are assholes in some right because they feel what
True.
they're doing is right to protect their people.
I
Yeah.
don't know if he's
I'm gonna
necessarily an
protect the
asshole.
people,
Bran,
so I'm gonna just go ahead and kill them all.
but Bran has lost the ability to have.
He fell
sense
off
of
a tower.
killing.
Big whooped.
No. No, when he became the Third Eye
Oh.
Raven, he lost his humanity.
I was like,
Mhm.
don't say that's the reason why.
Mhm.
No.
No. Now he sees things. Now he sees things as the way they're meant to be, the way they're supposed to be, and you just do them. He doesn't see things as feelings and emotions and as humanity. That's why it makes him perfect to be the king.
We are at 53 right now.
All right. Well. Let's go back to it
Any
now.
final?
No. Let's go back to it. What does everybody think of the series as a whole on a scale of 1 to 10? The series, season 1 season 8.
I
Seven.
can't have
7
an
out of
opinion
10.
7.
7 out of 10.
Eight.
All right.
Series.
8.
8.
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a 7.5, 7, because of this season I hated pretty much all the way through, until the finale, and then the fact that I really hated what they did with this Dorne storyline. They really ruined the Dorne storyline.
This
Well,
show has been the most
Mine
complex
an 8 because I
characters
took 5 out. I don't like 5 at all.
Like- ever in a show, and like I just feel like some of the stuff they did with the characters is one of the reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Like, God, why Grey Worm? Like, anyways,
Well, just remember, there's always going to be people that love it, and there's always going to be people that hate it.
Always. You're so right, Don. Always going to be.
Of course.
Everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
Well, it's just like anything else in entertainment. Art is subjective. Art is about how it makes you feel, what you personally get out of it. That's what art is. I'm glad. I'm just happy that I got some sort of resolve, and that I didn't lose complete faith in the world of A Song of Ice and Fire.
Yeah, believe it or not, I wasn't expecting to hear you say you actually liked the finale. I was
I
waiting.
know, nobody was.
Hated it. Oh my
I thought
god!
Michael was going to hate it too. I did.
Nope. I was really surprised myself. See, it goes to show you that I look at all this with a very open mind. I one scene at a time, one episode at a time. I'm not just sold on. I hated the whole season. I'm done. No, I will give it its due all the way.
I
to the
mean,
end.
I'm glad that the fucking Starks got their little fairy tale ending, but like other than that, like I don't know.
See, I like the darkness of it all.
I'm just glad that my character didn't die. Like, yay, my character didn't die.
Shit, my character's been dead for a long
My
time.
fucking favorite character died last season. Fuck.
It'll
Mine's-
more than likely be different in the books when he's done with them, but
Mine's been dead since season 4.
Who?
Both Oberyn.
Oberyn, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot who the fuck that was.
Oberyn and Renly are my 2 favorite characters.
Oh. Yeah.
Mike, do you want to welcome everybody to join us Thursday?
Oh yes. So everybody, we did not have a show last Thursday, and we apologize. As most of our panel was unavailable or sick last Thursday. This Thursday we will be live. We will be there, here at our regular time, which is 5 Pacific time, 7 Central, 8 Eastern, and we will be doing our Meet the Panel AMA show as we had scheduled last week. So please join us. Please think of questions. Please, comment and contribute in the while we're live on the. We're doing this for you so that you guys can get to know us. Anything else?
I think that's it.
All right.
And I think
Well,
I'll more than likely be in the comments for that one. So
there you go. Comments and ask questions and
Mhm.
do what you need to do. Get to know us. Nothing's off the table.
Well, some things are off the table.
Well,
I'm
something for
I'm not
individuals.
part of the panel,
Mhm.
so I'll more than likely be.
Oh,
in
now that we finished Game of Thrones, what other show should we do on like Mondays or something?
Well, I thought we're gonna do Game of Thrones
back
from the
to
beginning.
Well,
That's
we'll
Oh.
agreed
figure
upon.
it out later.
Well, we'll discuss it at
Yeah.
our meeting.
Well, if you guys decide to go,
Everybody say good night.
let me know.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
We will.
Yes.
Night,
Peace,
everybody.
people.
All right, guys.